going to clip the part where you said Libby is right, and I'm
Absolutely,
just going to post just that forever and ever.
There it is.
You absolutely should, and that's why we read it.
Yeah.
Okay, because Libby was correct the whole time.
I had a Tim is, it might be wrong. Bubba was right today in the green room earlier. We were talking about.
I hope it's on tape because.
Well, no, there was no tape. There's no tape of it.
We were recording, but was it before the recording?
It might have been during the recording. It was during the talking about the tip situation, and you said you may be correct if you were talking in the context that I was speaking about.
This is actually important. No tax on tips. Bubba brought up means super chats may be tax exempt.
Right.
And I said, however,
yeah.
A gratuity is, you know what it is. It's self-explanatory. It's money after the fact.
Right.
You're not getting anything for doing it. However, for us with super chats, there is an expectation, a probability that we read what you have to say.
Right.
So if you're watching right now and you put in a super chat, the expectation is Tim is going to be reading the super chats, and I'm basically paying for that to occur.
That real estate.
That's not that's not a tip.
Right.
However, you pointed out for your show, when you do super chats, you don't read any messages. You say thank you.
To Jim
That's a
McGillicuddy,
tip.
thank you. Yeah.
That is a tip. They're giving you money with no expectation of what's called legal consideration.
Right.
Meaning you're tax exempt on all that.
So I'm looking forward to that. I hope it goes through.
That's really interesting. That opens the door to a lot. People need to understand.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of people in the content industry. I mean, you know, a lot.
It's crazy how Democrats somehow are against taxes on tips because you had AOC saying that means that every job would become a tip-based job.
Great.
Yeah.
That means pay what you will.
Yeah.
And think about how that would work. I say, hey, if you want to watch our members only show, it's free. Just leave a tip. And if you don't, we won't do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's like,
I mean,
no taxes.
Right. I mean, you know, you can get creative on that.
Yeah, it's almost like you tithe.
Tithe.
We'll do the uncensored
Tithe
show.
to the TimCast.
Yeah,
and then what we do is we say, like, nobody has to give us money, but if we don't make any money doing it from tips, we're not going to do it again.
Right. We're not going to be around.
Yeah, and look, we know that servers rely on tips for their income. So you are allowed to rely on tips for your income so long as nothing of value is given in exchange.
Right. Other than service.
No.
No, I mean, like as far as a server, they're just serving.
So tips come after the service is already completed.
Right. That's what I meant. I mean, as far as they're tipping you, I guess, on how well you did your job, potentially.
It's just extra money. Have fun.
Right.
There you go. Freebies.
Yeah. And anyway, I had a Tim moment like you had just a minute ago, Libby. Like you're clipping. I just don't know if I can clip it or not.
No, that we recorded that. That's on the Green Room show.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least we got to start the show with a little Bubba tonight.
That's it, man. That's awesome that he's on. You know, he's there with Tim Pool on was it Poolcast? TimCast?
Yeah, Tim Pool in real life IRL.
Man.
Tim has 2 channels. The channel he's on tonight has a meager 2.29 million followers, and then the other one that just his regular one, I think it's just Tim Poolcast or TimCast.
Yeah.
It has like 1.9 million. So I mean, this dude's got 4 million.
Getting by, isn't he? Yeah.
That's just on YouTube. Yeah, he's just barely getting by. As we were just watching the video, great studio, multiple cameras, great co-host, beautiful room. Is a glorious room. One of those. I mean, it looks like a Joe Rogan studio. Obviously, I don't watch that show. I'm not a fan. It seems interesting. I like the little Tigs bit that he just left us about treadmills being torture devices.
Never knew that.
I did not either. So learn something diving in. So that's a lot of fun. But boys, let's kind of dive into stuff. First of all, as we are recording this, happy 3/11 day. You know, I think this is
happy 3/11. Yeah, man. That's
it's
cool.
my holiday, baby. I got green on right behind me. There
Big 3/11
like
guy.
a weatherman. Yes, I got to give a shout out to my friend R.I.P. Allison Hinton Odom, who made that for me, painted that, and she's sweet. She would be pumped, and I would have gotten a text from her today. But this is a holiday for me. Obviously, what other band has their own holiday, their own day based into their whole
Their
thing?
name is the day. Hey,
Their name
Tigs,
is the day.
I thought about this earlier. Just for someone who's been under a rock for the past 30 years, if I landed in a spacecraft and got out and said on today and said, and you told me Happy 311 Day, I said, what is 311? You said it's a band. What kind of band? What would be your quick description of 311 to someone who had never heard of it?
The elevator pitch for 311.
I know. I'm not
On the
prepared
spot,
for this.
too,
Right
baby.
on the spot. Right on the spot. I mean, they're a funk reggae band. I would say funk rock, rap, reggae, number one. So they're a blend of music.
A fusion, a funk rap reggae fusion band. What era? What year did they come out? What was their biggest height? Fame,
they came out in I think 1989 was actually the year that they formed, but 90s kind of what they really go by. If you listen today, and I think it'll probably continue on, all of their albums have this blue tint over them. Everything. They put a filter on Apple and on Spotify with all of their stuff, and they have this website that's coming out that is out now. It's blue.311.com, I think is what it is. All in that is in celebration of their 1995 album, 311, self-titled album, the Blue album, as fans refer to it as. So that's huge. That's where you got All Mixed Up, Down, their biggest hits. 95, 96, 97, all of those things really going on in the mid 90s is their heyday into the early 2000s, where they were charting and all of that stuff. Of course, that all led up to, I guess, was it 2001? I think is whenever wasn't it 50 First Dates was the movie where Amber was one of the songs that was in that soundtrack, because it wasn't, well, I guess it was officially on an album at some point, but that was a song that was that's really where people discovered that one.
That's when they took off.
That's when they had taken off. I guess that was their crescendo of they went from, a post-grunge funk metal band that really before Limp Bizkit, before Linkin Park, before that kind of style and genre of music, they started to take off. And but whenever they hit that was their pop success.
Well, they got that mailbox money. They got that big screen money.
Yeah.
We're good now.
They'll be able to tour and do what they're doing for the rest of their lives because of that one song.
Now, where are they out of again?
They're out of Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
That's where it started. But I think that most of them live in LA now. Maybe not all of them. I don't think Chad Sexton, the drummer, I don't think he lives in LA, but most of them live out in LA now and have for a while.
So they had their self-titled debut album in '95. They rose quickly, had a lot of success, and then a big song on a movie towards the tail end of their big run they had. And they're still obviously touring some now. Did they have this? A lot of people may or may not remember this. A lot of our younger audience, all of us will, but MTV was the precursor to YouTube. Now, used to you watched MTV, CMT. There's a couple others like that. VH1. That's where you watched music videos. BET. You watched music videos on those channels because they stream music all day long, like different programs. Like they'd have a VJ, a video disc jockey that would play different stuff. So they were in that era still. They had big videos. I remember some of those videos. They had some cool videos. They
were huge. They were huge.
Cool.
And all those beach bashes, the Panama City stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, back then, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I liked their songs All Mixed Up and Down. Whenever I heard them the first, 150 times, I loved them. But then at some point, I just kind of got tired of their ass playing all the time. I'm not going to lie. And then because of that, because of the MTV and all of that beach party stuff, I just started to associate them with frat boys, frat guys.
Right.
And I'm like, whatever. Just, I would call it, I mean, I'm just not going to lie, dumb rock. That's, mindless, dumb stuff. I had no idea though. I never had any of their albums or anything like that. I didn't jump onto them in probably 2006 or so. Like I missed the initial wave with them. I didn't hear any of that stuff. And then I hanging around my buddies, my buddy Chad at Gator Mill Works, Chad and Tom Chopin, and they listened to 311 all the time. No bigger fan of 311 than Chad Foster, period. And y'all, I wish I had the picture. I do have a picture, but I don't have it all to where I could pull it up right now and show y'all. But he has drums that he's bought from the band, the yellow drums that were in a lot of the original videos from that era.
Oh, wow.
He has the kit. One night we tried to put them all together because they were like mailed in crates and stuff. You know how that is, JR, yeah. Whenever you mail musical instruments. We didn't know what we were doing. Now they run a cabinet shop, so they're way more mechanically inclined to put something together like that than I am, for sure. But we couldn't get it together. But he has
a lot of drum heads, wasn't it?
A lot of drum heads, a lot of stuff, just things at bases that you have to, where do you put the cymbals? And he has a pretty extensive kit too, with multiple, I don't know what all they're called. I'm not a drummer, but cool kit. He got like Mesa Boogie tube amps and stuff that they use to tour with. Like he knows them. He knows Nick.
So he's a fan. So he's a fan,
but he's a fan, but he also a friend too. Like he knows
collector.
Yeah.
And he's got the means to do it because of having success with his company.
Got the means to do it, yeah. And I'll tell you what, though, I've been fortunate. I've been able to go along with him on some of these runs and go to Atlanta. We've gone to one of the funnest trips ever is seeing them at Aaron's Amphitheater in Atlanta. And I thought about this today. Back then when I saw him, it was late 2000s, 2007, 8, 9, somewhere in there, maybe 11, somewhere in there. And back then, not everybody's cell phones had lights. People still they have a couple of slow songs. Everybody still held up lighters. You don't see that. People don't hold up lighters anymore. Yeah. You don't see lighters in places anymore now. You just light the cell phone, which I think kind of actually looks cooler. You can truly, I know you've seen it, JR, at a Justin Moore deal when the audience will pull up their phones. It almost will light the stage up with everybody's lights. You know,
it'll light it up.
It's just, it's crazy. But
I remember when I had the, it was a T-Mobile phone that they came out with. It was right when iPhone was coming out, and they came out with their phone, and it was the first one of the smartphones. It was an Android, and it had a lighter app, and you would hit it, and it would actually look like a lighter being lit, and you could move it left and right, and the flame would bend.
The flame would move.
I remember that.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that was so cool because I was like, oh, we don't have to light a lighter at a concert anymore. We can just hold this up.
I bet a lot of people at the 311 concerts had a lighter in their pocket anyway.
You most still do. Yeah. Inventions seem to have taken some of that stuff away, along with the way that music has
but you
been.
still need the essentials for what things that you need on a daily basis. Well, that's awesome. And I hope anyone out there that doesn't know about 311 or didn't know how special 311 is to Tigs and his people, and we all enjoy the band as well. Go check them out. They've got some great records. It's a cool jams. Check that out when you get a chance. I've got to move over before I forget about it and just comment on this because we didn't before we got on the show or once we started rolling. Blasi, are you coming to us from an anonymous room at the White House or something?
Yeah, where are you coming to us from? Let me blow this up.
Yeah,
I am. I'm supposed to be
presidential today.
Yeah, Trump's supposed to be meeting with me. I've got about 30 more minutes, guys. I'm going to have to hop off here. I'm going to have a hard stop here, at about 9:30. So, no, I'm actually in the oldest city in the United States right now at an extremely old hotel. I am in lovely St. Augustine, Florida.
That's where I thought you were going to say.
That's exactly where I'm at. I'm at the Casa Monica Hotel. And interestingly enough, yesterday you texted us about, hey, I want to do a show. We're going to talk about 311 a little bit. Sounds great. It's 311. I check in. I get to my room. I'd already said, okay, thumbs up. And then I realized my room number was 311.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Good old 311 here at the Casa Monica Hotel, downtown St. Augustine.
That's almost
what
magical.
A lovely city, man. What a beautiful, historic city. It's so
Great
cool,
town.
man.
Great
so
town.
Cool.
And they have we get there about every other year. They have the St. Augustine Amp. They have an amphitheater there that is one of the top amphitheaters in the country. Every band wants to play there. They have a great amphitheater there. And it's just, like Blasi said, it's a cool town. It's got a great vibe. It's got that old school feel. It's old Florida. It's Atlantic coast. I love it, man. That's awesome, buddy. And that those drapes behind you with that special old school window.
It looks like the Oval Office.
It really does.
Like, that's what Brian Gilson says. Is Blasi in the Oval Office? It looks like the Oval Office.
We need to get Blasi one of those old school Parliament wigs on.
Yeah, wear that here to sit here,
and let him do us a the address of the Bubba Nation from the rectangular office.
Let me tell you something about these curtains. So as you can see, you've got the main drapes over here, right? The big boys, and you got the thin drapes here. And there's actually another set of windows right here. I got this little kind of jut out in my room. There's a street right here overlooking, like, I can see Flagler College now, right through that window, that big crazy building. So I got in yesterday about 3:30. I check into my room. I set everything down. I come in here. I actually open up. These were open. I open them up and I take a picture in the windowsill of this card to send to you guys.
Yeah.
I go downstairs for a few minutes. I work on some stuff and I come back. Dude, these curtains were drawn closed on both sides. And I got a little wigged out. I mean, like the hair stood up on my neck. I was laying in the bed. I was like, wait, I know those were open when I left. And, this is 311. 411 and 511. You can go Google this stuff. The room above me and the one above me before that, which I've stayed there before, wigged Amanda and I out completely, are the most haunted rooms here.
Oh, well, great.
Oh,
yeah. So so I don't know. I mean, it's like, I even went downstairs and asked them, I said, has anyone been in my room? And they were like, excuse me. I was like, my curtains, I'm very positive they were open because I took a picture. I even opened them up so I could take the picture. I was like, I left them open. Did anybody go in my room? They kept looking at me like I had 3 heads. I was like,
no way.
Yeah. Wow. So I swear. So yeah. So I don't know, man, but everything was fine. I slept like a baby last night. There was no monsters came flying in here. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy, but that really freaked me out, man, with those curtains.
I guess.
Yeah.
Holy
you can Google it though. Casa Monica Hotel, room 411 and 511, up and up.
Now add 311 to that. 311 on 311. Add to the register there.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
Wow. That is crazy, dude. That is.
And wait now, spin that back on you, JR.
That's what I was about to do.
Where are you, dude? I mean, what is going on there?
Yeah.
Let me see if I've got my stuff.
I'm
actually in
billionaire Pandora stuff.
Yeah. 31 minutes into it, and JR's in the damn coolest place that we've ever had a podcast from, and we're just now bringing it up.
I got my favorite Hee Haw shirt on, and my American Country Countdown with Bob Kingsley hat on.
Yeah, you do.
I am in Central Arkansas. I'm at Justin Moore's home office / studio in
nice.
In his
cool, dude.
Out in his pool house. So I came in here. I knew he had his stuff in here. And over here in the corner is still a microphone set up from where I sat there 2 years ago when we recorded a podcast. The guitar he used to play a song on it that he sat down there. And he's got his other stuff up here. And I'm trying to be very gentle with it because he records his media stuff that he has to do for tour and his morning radio show that he does in Little Rock on the Buzz. I'm trying not to mess it up because I know he's going to want to come in here and do a show, and I don't want to rearrange anything because it's hard. Neither he nor I are very technically inclined on that.
You got everything just like he needs it. So make sure it stays in place.
Are you using his computer to do this?
No, I'm on my computer. I'm on my computer and my power cable because I think that's all he brings in. His computer's in his backpack like mine was, but he has the over here, Blasi. He's got the bigger version of my
yeah.
Of course he does.
So it's got more, and he's got the same mic set up as I think I ordered us these. I know I did. I ordered us these mic stands. So he's got the same mic.
That looks really nice.
Yeah, those are Rogan like stands.
Yep, same like I got.
And cheap.
No, and but so luckily we were here today, and I was gonna get stuff out and try to do it from the bus, but we have the generator on. Then I was gonna try to find a quiet place in the house. But I thought, man, he's already got the stuff up here. He's got the light.
Yeah,
I just thought I just do
you
it.
got everything you need right there.
And
yeah. It's a
he
studio.
shout out to Elon Musk. He got Justin during our whole podcast foray into all that all the episodes we did. We were marred with technical problems, mostly due to his poor internet out here. And he lives out in the country. There was only one provider. It was just, some lag. Sometimes it was good. Sometimes it wasn't. Well, towards the end, and now he has Starlink, thanks to Elon and his company. And no political nothing on that. I'm just a Starlink fan. It works. That is a great idea, and it works amazingly. So they have it out here in the sticks now, and he's rocking. I got here today and was doing some stuff out by the pool, just walking around, and realized, man, I'm on the house Wi-Fi. I said, oh yeah, they got Starlink. So it's rocking. Now I was, once I realized, put all together, I said, I'm just going to do it up here instead of trying to do it off the bus or something. So
perfect. Isn't it unfortunate that you have to preface things like that now just simply because somehow or another Elon Musk has found his way from just being a dude on Twitter with electric cars and
it's
rockets
unbelievable.
He's now right up there at the top.
Well, Elon and electric cars and all that a year ago were, and I always tell, I'm right in the middle on everything. I'm common sense. I'm in the middle on stuff. I don't really pick sides on all that. I'm not educated enough on most of that to have an opinion. I comment on what I know, usually only.
Yeah, which is smart.
But from what I've noticed, though, as an observational point here, up until Elon started helping the now President Trump, that was a left thing. Everybody was progressive. People wanted EVs, and they loved Elon and all of his ideas and stuff. As soon as that switched, now they're shooting up Tesla stores, and it's you're a redneck if you drive a Tesla. I'm like, whoa, what happened here?
Exactly. We just heard Bubba and Tim Pool talking about that. Exactly. It's insane that this is,
Well, it's crazy. And whatever people say his motivation is, it's not money. Because as soon as you do what he's doing, which I think he's just talking about common sense stuff. I don't even think this is political. I really don't. This is where I don't think it's political. It's common sense. He knew he was going to lose probably more than half of his customer base, because most of his customer base they did tend to lean a little bit left, right? Same thing when Trump ran for office. Used to, everybody loved Trump. He talked about that. What I mean? It was like Donald Trump. He was just a showcase and loved by both sides. And he knew immediately when he happened, he was going about half the country he was going to cut off. And so, you could say what the motivation is, whether it be power or whatever. You can talk about that. When it comes to money, what he's doing has nothing to do with money. It has to do with what I believe is his true belief, and it's been the same from the beginning, and nothing's changed. So, and that has nothing to do with politics. That's just fact, I think. So.
Oh no, it's kind of got a lot to do with money. He's getting rid of a bunch of it, but it's a good way.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not a money motivating thing for him to do.
Not for him. No,
more money.
No. I think it's more of the with great power comes great responsibility, and they know that, and know that they need to try to do something good in this life for their children and their children's children and their fellow man and human race, to try to help this rock sustain as long as it can in the best hands it can, and leave it better than you found it, kind of deal. And I really think that, and I even think Trump this round, to me personally, is that way too. I think he saw he did it off of the off the big run he had of popularity. The first time we were in trouble. The second time he realized how bad it really was, and he came back and, like you said, doubled down on the, people are going to say whatever, but I got to do it if I get a chance. And then after getting shot at, I really believe he thinks, I'm here.
Yeah.
I have a purpose to be here bigger than myself.
Perfect.
And I got to do it. I really do believe that. Yeah. And I don't think everyone, I'm not going to say all of them, but I don't think the majority get into politics to do anything nefarious, and it is from a good place, and you really want to help your community and do stuff. There's always going to be your bad apples that get in there for the wrong reasons, but I think a lot get corrupt. The majority get in there for the right reasons, ends up getting corrupted, and they're too far in to ever turn back around, unless it's really, really bad at the end. Or you get left, or if you don't play hard enough, you don't get to the dance. You know what I mean? You don't get to,
right.
They don't let you play if you don't fight back enough. And only a few of those have the ability to do the combination, which, in one hand is President Trump, who's done it. And then Elon, same thing. Like you said, he didn't have to do any of this, but sit back, didn't have to deal with any of this. And we're going to sell Teslas no matter what, and knew what was going on, lost half of his customer base, and his view on the national spotlight in some eyes, because he knew it was the right thing to do.
Yep. Well, they showed up today. Apparently, Trump's going to buy one at regular value, regular MSRP, whatever it is, and they pulled up today to the White House with all of them, the Model Y, the Cybertruck, all of them. I mean, I figure Trump's going to end up just getting all of them to begin with, but it ain't like he's going to be driving them around, not for a while anyhow.
If you live in a city and you don't have to carry anything of any weight, it makes total sense.
Dude, yeah.
Hey, I was riding with a rep last week in Orlando, and he's got the Model Y, and dude, we were riding around. That's a great vehicle, man.
It's amazing.
That thing is so smart. He's got like all the bells and whistles and all the stuff and self-drive.
The first one,
that thing's insane. It's like I feel like it's 50 years in the future. You know,
it really is. The first one I ever was in was DDP's. He's had one for years now.
Oh, he's got a Tesla.
Oh yeah, he had one 8 years ago when I met him. He said that them lowballing him and not him not getting he says it's the car that Shark Tank bought. He said after Shark Tank he did well enough, just the appearance even getting turned down, that he
it still helped. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
And yeah, it was so sharp. I mean, it's self-driving, all that. And Dallas is 6'5". He fit like it, like it was nothing. It was really impressive. After riding in it, I thought every other car feels dumb after this. This makes so much
they
sense.
Do. They do. I got to drive
0 to 60 in 2 seconds on that thing.
He'll just slam you back in the seat, dude.
Crazy.
He'll slam you back. I had the pleasure of driving one. It's the funnest vehicle I've ever driven. There ain't no doubt.
Yeah, but if you if you live in a town, it makes total sense.
It makes total sense if you're not driving like crazy. Yeah, and like long rural trips. Yes, it makes full sense. Yeah,
I gotta give. Jeffrey Jones says that the best politician I've ever known is Tigs' dad. This is true, everybody, and this is why I don't bring this up too much on this show, because I got big shoes to fill, and I'm not ever going to be a politician. But he was honest, and he was for his constituents, either Democrats or Republicans, and he was truly an unbiased man, and that is an absolute fact. It's one of the proudest things that I'm the most proudest of my dad for, and you can go to anybody in the state of Louisiana, what they would tell you, be Republican or Democrat, is that Joe Salter, that's my daddy's name, that Joe Salter was going to, what his word was his bond, and he was just going to tell it to you like how he thought his constituents would want it, and that's what you're supposed to do. At the end of the day, when you're in politics, you're supposed to listen to your pool of people that elected you to get there, not all the outside noise. If you're a congressman from Louisiana, you should not be listening or be influenced by some jackass from California that doesn't understand the politics that are in Louisiana or Alabama or Georgia or Minnesota or wherever that is. That should never be an influence. You should always represent. It is in the name of the whole deal. You represent your district, your constituents, and you do what their wishes are. You may not personally like the wishes of your constituents, but you're their voice. So you have to be their megaphone and do that. Don't get me on a tangent. Thanks for that, Jeff. That was is super nice, and I couldn't agree more.
That's exactly what you're there for, though. You are right. So you're there to represent the people that put you there. It doesn't matter, like you said, if they're left, right, or whatever. You were there. You're elected by them. You're there to represent the people, right? You're not just the people that elected you, and not just a particular party. The people of your state, of your area, of your region, and you're a voice for them and whatever they say. So
your county, your parish, your school board district, whatever, wherever you're at.
You're exactly right. All the way down to the lowest level. It's just that's what you're there for, to be a voice for them. So it's gotten so twisted and manipulated and all that fun jazz. But, JR, you mentioned something a while ago about somebody bringing somebody to the dance. How about them Troy Trojans getting their ticket punched to the dance last night, man? How cool is that? I was so proud of them. I went to eat dinner, and I knew they were in championship game. They've been playing great basketball, but I was still, like, cautiously optimistic. Like, man, this is still – you still got to win it. It's been since 2017. And, man, What a great game! I don't know if y'all watched it, but I did. I watched.
I saw a little bit.
It.
I saw the end of it, and and I texted y'all. I was like, "Them Trojans going dancing, baby."
Yeah.
I don't have a dog in the fight. My Tigers certainly aren't. So I'm I'm riding with you, baby. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's freaking go. Let's get an upset in the first round, kind of deal. Let's hope that we're maybe a 12 seed. I said we.
Yeah,
I didn't stutter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I hope we are. I hope we're at least. Yeah, I'm going to be realistic. I'm hoping I'm looking at that 14, 13, 12 to 14 range. Any of those are very winnable. There's been more of those wins getting in that 14 range than there has been in years lately because there's just so much parity in
I don't
sport.
think there'll be a play-in game. I don't think they would be. Because they had to.
No, they're not a play-in game. They'll be like a 14 or 13 or 12, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not a play-in. No, a play-in. No, they're not a play-in.
We got to start thinking. No, I'll start doing a little work.
Conference there,
guys, y'all hit it up in the chat if you would. James Madison's. Yeah, for sure. Hit us up in the chat. Let us know if y'all want to do a pool. We can set that up because I'm going to do one anyhow. Might as well set one up for everybody. Rusty Noel, what is up, brother? Appreciate you joining in, guys. I'm going to talk about this more on Thursday. You're listening to this on the Bubba Army exclusive right now. You're probably going to have to rewind it and go check it out. Go to our channels, Tigs Bits, tigsbits.com. Go to our YouTube channels, all of that stuff, Tigs Bits podcast. Go back and listen because I'm going to have a video on this and kind of really dive into a little deeper recap of the Cajun Burger Cook-Off that I went to this weekend. I'm still putting the videos together as we're recording this. Don't have everything done, but dear Lord, boys, talk about heaven. I'm pretty sure that, and I said this there, and I told this to Riley. He was my cameraman. He was there with me. If I died and went to heaven, if this was what heaven was like, then it is exactly what I was hoping. I mean, I was in
exactly
heaven.
What you're looking for, huh?
Exactly what I'm looking for. Unlimited burgers. So much just gluttony, which I don't think is going to be in heaven, but maybe it will. You know, you're never disappointed. You're supposed to never be sad or anything. Maybe you never get full, or
maybe you just have endless burgers.
Maybe you never gain any weight if you eat a bunch of burgers. Is what I'm getting at.
Maybe that's heaven for the rest of your life. Each day is a different cook-off. You're there to commentate it. How happy would you be?
That is heaven. Just of all the varieties of food, I could do that circuit for the rest of my life. Totally. Well, I'm going to dive more into it, but I can tell you this. I think there were 19 or 20 teams. I did not have a single bad burger, not even one. And you had burgers from, and Rusty, if you're still in here, you can chime in. Rusty's burger, number one, was freaking amazing. He had this, it wasn't totally a bacon jam, Rusty. You'll have to tell me exactly what you would call it because it wasn't as sweet as some of the other bacon jams, but it was still kind of on that premise. And he had both Wagyu from Snake River Farms.
Okay.
I told him the story about you sending me the tri-tip.
Yeah.
Or a couple of them. And all of that stuff from them. But he had Wagyu beef, ground beef.
Yeah.
For some, and then he also had ribeye ground beef. And he had pre-made his patties and beforehand, so I was there when we were sampling them. We all agreed that the ribeyes had a little bit more flavor, but the Wagyu had a little better texture. And when you're going with the judge, you kind of go with the wow factor. Rusty made the top 6, made the final stage. I'm not sure exactly where he finished. Damn good burger, though. Awesome. And there were heavy hitters at this deal.
Yeah.
Dave Hulan, however you say his last name. I'm sure he's watching this. He'll be mad at me butchering it, but he's been on the show. He had a true bacon jam, sourdough bun.
I love a good bacon jam on a burger, dude.
My God. I've never made a bacon jam, but I can tell you right now, that will be happening very soon. I watched our friend Cooking with Joni. He's been on the show. He's made a video that I saw this afternoon teaching you how to do it. He did that with Chef Dave. He kind of was his sous chef in a sense or whatever, and helped make some of that stuff. I think he helped make that bacon jam. Unreal.
That's
and
so
then
good.
Chef Dave topped it off with 24 karat gold flakes.
I saw those gold flakes coming in there.
Just ridiculous.
Just like
just ridiculous.
Like, talking about a flex. That's a big
flex. A total flex. But then you go from that to the one that won was a hybrid smash burger, which seems to be a very big topic of debate for people on the internet. The trolls, they do not like you calling a smash burger that is not smashed all the way down to where it's, an 1/8 inch or whatever patty and get the crust. This was a hybrid. Didn't smash it all the way down, but enough to get that good reaction, that crispy, yummy crunch, but still thick enough to be like a regular
that's
hamburger.
how I want my burger too. Yeah.
I like that.
A lot of people do.
Beautiful. It sounds like he's got the best of both worlds, right?
That's
best of both worlds. Yeah, but that seems I'm going to be.
Sounds like he won to me.
They did win,
I mean,
yes, but I love it. Oh, I love it, and what it's made me realize is I'm going to make a video pretty soon that's going to be a parody. Y'all that are watching and listening to this, when you see this, you're not going to. Don't ignore the comments because they're going to be brutal, and I can't wait. But I'm going to make a video of how to make a smash burger, and I'm going to use all of the things that people get pissed off about. Wonder where I learned this, Austin Dennis. Everything that people get pissed off about, the hybrid, this thing, and I'm going to, by God, commit to it. Like, this is science, and this is how it's done, and just total commitment, and it's all going to be wrong. Not wrong. You can still get a good hamburger out of this, but it's not going to be what the traditionalists consider to be a smash burger. So it's going to be fun.
That'll be good.
I'm working on it.
And fire them up. Fire them up.
Just get them pissed off. Engagement. It's all about engagement.
It is.
Speaking of engagement, Adrienne was on that team. Great job. She was the griddle cook. I love it. Y'all did amazing. You did amazing. Y'all were awesome. Yeah, those burgers were good. I look forward to talking about that on Thursday night, diving in a little bit further and having a video showing y'all some of the stuff. And speaking about cooking, I know you shared this with me, JR, and a good friend of mine, Tony Troon, we call him Troon, had sent it to me too. He's from Gina, Louisiana. And last week there was this article in the Gina Times introduced the Gina Pit Bosses, Louisiana's first high school barbecue club, established at Gina High School, which is kind of in central, you'd say it's in central Louisiana. Really cool. There's about 20 kids that are actively participating in it. And they're going to teach students not just how to grill, but the full process of barbecuing, including using like live fire, charcoal, marinating, seasoning, and presentation. And so it's going to be cool. They're going to have an official competition team. So I can't wait. I will interview them at some point. I will be at an event that they are putting on, and I can't wait to see what they do. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool. Hey, I want to talk something that was cool, and it involved food and music and everything else. I didn't get to eat any of the great food, but it smelled good. But I was in an event yesterday in Nashville for an award dinner held at the Opry House out at Opryland near the Gaylord Hotel. That's why I'm wearing my America's Country Countdown with Bob Kingsley hat. The presentation was for the Bob Kingsley Award, which is for philanthropy and service stuff in the music community in Nashville. And the honoree last night was Scott Borchetta, who is the president of Justin's record label, and was started with Taylor Swift and all these other acts over the years. He was a race car driver from California, and music business mogul. I mean, just a very successful and outstanding guy, and a lot of cool people there. And it was very cool, and just a cool event for us to go to. And for me, walking around thinking about it while I was there yesterday with all these Nashville bigwigs to come from, a trailer in Alabama to end up on that being there with all those people last night. But it was pretty cool who all was there is what I was getting to. And it's cool that Bob was there, you know, it was in his honor and all that stuff, and got to see some people. But there were some really cool artists there. I got to talk to Tracy Lawrence. That's always
nice.
fun. Tracy was there.
He's
That was
playing
great.
an op at the Rattlesnake Rodeo in a couple of weeks.
Oh, really?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I was talking with him for a little bit.
Did you drop the podcast? Let me act like Bubba right now. Did you drop the podcast?
Oh, of course. I told him we've been doing the podcast. I need to get him on. He wants to get Justin on his. We've been talking about it. And he basically, you know, a lot of the stuff they're doing was, you know, he kind of took what we were doing and ran with it, which is great because Tracy's got the personality for it, and he's a living legend and all that.
He has
stuff.
a great show. Tracy Lawrence has a great podcast. I love that show.
Great podcast. But I got to talk to him for a while. Got to talk to Randy Travis and his wife, Miss Mary, for a minute.
Really?
That's always a blessing. Yep. See them.
How's he doing, man?
He's doing good. He got done with his part when he was out there talking. He got back and he was trying to tell him something, and he's like, I got to pee. So he had to get to the bathroom. But then we chatted for a minute. Great to see him. Saw Terry Clark for a second. I talked to Brett Young for a minute. Who else did we see there last night?
This is a who's who.
Justin got to catch up with Jimmy Wayne and Jack Ingram were both there, and both of them were on the label. Jack and Justin were two of the first artists on when Big Machine started Valerie Records. And they hadn't seen it, and Jimmy reminded Justin was like, he's got a good memory. 2010 since they had last seen each other, so 15 years since they last seen each other and said hello. And it was just it was a really cool. The band Perry was on after us.
Oh, wow!
I had to do a double take, and we got back in the green room, in our little dressing room, number 3. They give us number 3 lately, which is a little Jimmy Dickens room, which is cool.
Isn't that where you came? You do a podcast
that's
from
where
there?
you came to us live from. Yeah.
Yeah. I was in a different. I would think I was in room 7 when I did the podcast.
Okay.
But
and Justin was in room the little 3. Jimmy Dickens room.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
But we got back. I turned around. We were like, was that band Perry? And we looked up. And was like, yeah, that was the band Perry.
They're kind of. Are they coming back? Didn't they kind of go away for a minute
they went and did their own solo stuff. I don't really know, but this was a real kind of special thing because of just who it was. It was people who Scott had worked with over the years. So there was a lot of people who weren't expecting to be there that were there, from different, because Tracy's not on our record label now, but they had worked together when Find Out Who Your Friends Were came out.
Okay.
TK was there, Toby Keith's longtime manager and business partner, because Borchetta was there with How Do You Like Me Now and the big Toby Keith run he had, and and the band Perry, and I don't think Swift was there, but he was the one that brought 14-year-old Taylor Swift to country radio. So
wow.
So anyway, I say all that. It was humbling experience for me to be there, but it was very cool also, and I took advantage of it. I didn't get any interviews or pictures. I got one little picture of me out in front of the Opry backstage entrance that I always do, but just wanted to say that was it was a really cool event. Nashville representing. Those are all good, fine country artists. It was good to be in a room with them.
Man, that's
to say the least.
That's so cool. That's so cool. It's easy to say, hey, get some pictures, get some videos, but you get in that kind of situation, it's tough. I get it. So you gotta.
There's a time and a place.
I got the hat. I got the hat. They when we were leaving, they said, "Y'all take any of this you want." You know me, I went over there and made sure I didn't have nothing I could take. I got me a hat. It got me a hat and a handkerchief.
Oh man, that's so dang. Hey, I got to ask you. I'm sorry, this is bothering me a little bit. That Pandora, like that Pandora billionaire thing. What is that? That billion? Tell me what that is.
That is. That is to Justin Moore. Congratulations on over 3 billion streams on Pandora.
That is insanity.
3 billion streams.
Holy cow.
That's crazy town.
A billion.
3 billion streams.
3 billion.
Our boy Austin Dennis is in the chat. He says,
look at Austin over there.
Austin doesn't believe that we're actually ever going to have Justin Moore on the podcast. He said that to me the other day. He said, I don't think you're really ever going to have him. Well, we probably won't, but if you see right there, JR's at least in his studio. We're getting closer. I can tell you right now, he's coming on the show.
We've had him on the show.
We had him on the show. He's just never aired.
We're a train wreck. And so, sorry, that's our fault.
Say the least.
Hey, I just got to say, Austin, I think you spelled Roll Tide wrong in your little message there. check your keyboard. I think kids playing with your keyboard.
Kids are playing with
we'll
the
get
keyboard.
JM on. Yeah, he said just let it. We've talked about it lately. He's down whenever we get a break.
He'll be down. We're gonna have him on, no doubt about it. But look, talking about this music and all of this stuff, there's something that we've gone this whole time that we meant to hit on at the top of the hour, but Bubba threw us a curveball with this whole Tim Pool show. Teased a little bit on Tigs Tonight last week that there are some changes a-coming, changes a-brewing in the show, and some of these changes are going to allow some of those things like JR just talked about to kind of start to organically happen a little bit more. Blasi, I want you, sir, to make the announcement of what is happening. What are we going to be doing moving forward?
Man, we're going to be doing, I tell you what we're going to be doing. We're going to be getting back to kind of this is those moments where you start spreading yourself a little too thin, which we've done lately. And we're trying to meet so many different obligations. And we also have our own obligations outside of the show to try to meet. So, we came to realization. It's like, hey, let's do something. There's two things we need to do right here. One, we need to sharpen the pencil and we need to get a little bit better, right? And then we also, in order to do that, we're going to have to make more time and we got to be able to free some things up. So we have made some decisions here. And one of those decisions is to streamline what you're seeing right now, which is our show itself, and bring that in kind of probably into one product that we may end up doing 1 or 2 times a week or 3 times. We can do that as many times we want to, but from an obligation standpoint, we have been with Right Now Television for over the past year, and it has been phenomenal. What a great partnership. What a great learning experience. What a great group of guys. It's been a fantastic experience. But right now, we're at a point where we've got to make some decisions for the show. So one of the things we're going to be doing, we're not going to be doing the TV show itself anymore. So we're going to be stepping away from that. But what it's going to do, it's going to allow us to be able to open up some other doors. Right. Yes. We're going to be opening up some new doors where we're doing some more cooking videos. We're doing some food reviews. Yeah. I've already done 2 this week. And so, oh yeah. So we're going to get JR, the handler, is going to be stepping in, trying to get a little action out there, bringing in some better guests from time to time. So we're going to just, you know what? We're not going to be, the quantity is going to come down, but the quality is going to just absolutely go to the roof. That's it. So
we're going to go back to what we were doing before we got hit with, hey guys, you're doing one pretty damn good show a week. And now you're getting attention to, hey, can you do 3 shows now a week? Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah, we can do that. Brantley, get editing.
Yeah, just get after it. So we're gonna free the editor up a little bit, which is going to allow more content to flow in. Go to 2 nights a week for at least record one Bubba. Not every Bubba show like we do. If we have a guest or something like that, we record that on another platform. Typically, we edit those down and all that. So we won't do those live every week. We won't go live for the Bubba. But the plan is to go live just about every week at some point in time because it's not hard to edit whenever you just do it live. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's right. And we like interacting with you guys out there. That's what makes this whole thing fun. So I think when we started going live a year ago, we've looked at things. We've all sat down. We had our Camp David meetings and came up with ideas and things. And I mean, I can tell you right now, the relief of just no longer having to worry about editing that TV show is just, and it's not like it's not the end of the world. It's not that hard. But when we want better quality for the Bubba Army, number one. Yeah. And I think we can give the Bubba Army podcast a hell of a better show. Everybody's getting what they signed up for whenever they first came on board with us, what was presented, number one. That's our strongest podcast. We've got to make that better, which is what we're going to do. And then number 2, we got to free up a little bit more time so we can do these outside things and start to bring you some other content from some other angles. JR
maybe some shorter form type stuff. Yeah,
exactly. JR is exposed to a little bit more celebrity type angles than Blasi and I, for sure. I'm exposed to these cooking things. Blasi's traveling the nation and going to fine dining restaurants. We're going to blend all of this into what you're about to start seeing, what you have been seeing. So we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yes, we are.
Doing all
Yes, we
that.
are. And I think, food has always been central to this show. And it's funny. I do have to mention this. I've been invited to the Geneva Festival on the River 2025 by
Nice.
the one and only Todd Moat. And they've started this cooking event on the side. There's a pro division and a backyard division. And he's invited me, called me the other day. Hey, come up there and stay with, Lee and myself. We've got room for you. Come on up here. We want you to cook. You pick your division. And, it's funny. He's sitting there selling me on this with my buddy, first of all. And I'm like going, man, I feel like a damn celebrity. You know what I mean? He's just like opening it up and so many ways.
Yeah.
We'll set you up. We got a whole house for you on the lake out here. I was like, dude, I've got to figure out a way to go. I mean, like this is like full greased action right here. And so I'm trying to make that work. The only thing I realized, we got a dang baseball tournament that weekend. So I'm trying to figure out how I can maybe manipulate that and do both. I can start cooking on Friday, go back, leave, come back, finish, present my product. So
it's going to be
I'm
tough
working
to do
on that. Speaking of food, I can't wait. And congrats to our buddy Todd Moat too, who's been part of our show. His son's big into fishing. He supports him. He has an unbelievable bass fishing setup.
Yes, he does.
And he is now on the board of directors for the Alumni Association for Troy University. He just got nominated for that recently. So congrats to Todd on that too. So, and I appreciate the invite to the Geneva Festival on the River for 2025 and that cooking deal. I'm going to try to get in that action. So anyway.
I was asked this week or in this weekend to be a judge at the Free State Festival Barbecue Cook-Off. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's in November. That's what's crazy. The cooking stuff. I love this cooking community that we're getting to be a part of. It rolls all year long. We noticed that Tales from the Tailgate really worked. So do Tales from the Cook-Offs. I can just tell you. They're working, and they're going to work even better, and we got plenty of content. So that's how we're going to feel the rest of the year.
Who doesn't love food? I don't care if you don't like. Okay,
everybody's got to eat, Blasi.
If you're right, or if you don't like sports, or you like sports, or what? Everybody likes food.
Everybody likes food.
Everybody likes
That's
food.
right. That's right. Let me get a little clarification in here for Paul Rogers and Brian Gilson both. Paul, so you're taking a break from Right Now. Yes, we're going to take a break from Right Now TV. Shows will continue through the end of the quarter. Through the end of March. So we still have shows that'll be coming up. Full disclosure, there are going to be some repeats. There is a brand new show that will come out tomorrow night, and it'll also be dropping on our podcast stuff too. The very heartwarming interview that I've talked about with Tony Menace and Tim Siegel. Yeah. That'll be dropping this week, and that's a fantastic, fantastic interview.
And to be clear, look, Norm, who owns Right Now Television, who is my neighbor, like we're in great standing. We talked. He understood.
He gets it.
It's just about time and energy and effort and where we are right now. Like if
I think what you're saying is exactly right, Paul. We're taking a break.
Yep.
We're taking a break. I think the door is still open for Right Now TV, and at some point in the future, we definitely may jump back in it. But this is going to give us kind of that opportunity to we were rolling. We were kind of moving in the direction that we wanted, and then all of that was a great thing to have happen, but we need to step back a little bit and refocus on making a little bit better content. Brian asked, is this going to be just video or just audio? Brian, here's the good thing. I don't think y'all are going to notice one bit of difference in anything that we do. Now, the Tigs tonight, where we were going live 3-4 nights a week whenever I was doing that in January, that's not going to happen anymore. That's going to be the biggest difference. We're going to try to go live twice a week. One maybe being a Bubba. One may just be to dive in, or maybe a couple times. There may be some weeks where, and there's a bunch of guests. There's some people in the chat right here tonight, like Travel to Boot. We need to have them on the show. Blasi and JR may not be able to join, but I want y'all to hear from them, and we want y'all to hear from them. So may have them on, and they're just, we're going to still be going live, but we're not going to have it set in stone to go live 4 nights a week. Just watch our socials, and we're going to let you know.
It's going to feel the same. We're just going to sharpen.
It's going to feel the same.
We're just going to free up time for honestly, for Brantley to be able to not have to just be so obligated to so many different platforms, which is like TV, podcast, our own show, this and that. It's like, hold on, we've got to bring this in, make the product a little bit more universal, and then do a few smaller short things on the side. It's really that simple. This is just it's
that simple.
It ain't rocket
It really
science.
is.
Yeah.
It's that simple. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to be fun. What is up? Travel to Boot. So good to see them. They're fun. They're growing. They are growing too. Yes. Travel to Boot. They're going around, going to all these festivals and stuff too. The community is just awesome in that cooking deals too. So I can't wait to see where all this goes.
I can't wait to get over there. I got 2 reps in the good state of Louisiana, and I'm coming soon, dude. I'm on time a trip just right, so I can parlay that into something good over there. You
have to. So, guys, I think that's a good wrap on the show. We didn't cover everything that we had in our little title description tonight. That's okay.
Trump's waiting on me, guys. I've had Trump waiting for 10 minutes.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, just tell Mr. President I'll be there in just a minute, okay? Yeah, he can wait. Just tell him to. I've sent Big Mac in there, so he should be good.
I think JR booked 2 shows in the last 5 minutes while we were going through this rant.
I sent y'all some pictures and deleted a bunch out of my feed that I needed to, but glad I could be of help for you guys. Hey, we can't forget either, Blasi. We got to give some love out to Brent Bailey and his family.
Oh man,
one of me and Blasi's good buddies, fraternity brother, had just a tragic loss this weekend. Hold your loved ones close. Cancer's so bad and so wild. Just want to say love you, Brent Bailey, and shout out to him and his whole family. There's nowhere with you. I sent him a message, but I know he's getting flooded with it, but just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Thoughts and prayers out there to Brent and his family. Austin says that he's looking forward to seeing the new content. It's going to be a lot of fun getting going on it.
I gotta do a podcast with Austin Dennis. He and I never get to be on it.
You've never been here before with him?
We did. So we got him on something one time a long time ago, but he and we hadn't been on together since we've all buddied up. I'm ready.
So thankful for that man that seemed to have taken this little podcast under his wing for some reason. I don't know why, but it's awesome, and we're gonna ride with it. Me and him are boys. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah, I like Austin.
I love that he stands on business too. He just walks right up in the fire.
Does.
He don't give a dang.
I tell you right now,
he comes me all bowed up to a little bit, not bowed up, but just like what you know what I mean, like.
He just goes right up in the fire. I love it.
Homie stands on business, ain't no doubt. And he says, let's do it, JR. So, yes, sir.
I'm Alabama born, son. Born in the backwoods, is raised by a bear.
Double set of jaw teeth, 3 layers of hair.
We'll just stop right there. Huh?
That's exactly right. We'll see y'all next week.